စုယူမဲ့လူတွေအခုမှလာတယ် Okay, now start. Hello, Sajid. You can start now.
Hi, good morning. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see, but not full screen.
Is it the presenter view you are seeing?
Can you change into the full screen?
Yeah, I have started the presentation, but I just want to confirm like which view you are getting.
Okay now. It's okay now.
Fine now?
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Let me just turn on my video as well. Hi everyone, this is Imtias Sajid from IPNIC, and I would be presenting the IPv6 deployment in an ISP. So let's start. So I will have the introduction and I will be going through the IPv4 depletion and why IPv6 is needed for internet, IPv6 deployment in an ISP, and what is should be the deployment roadmap, what are different challenges and consideration we should take, and then we can have question and answer. So IPv4, when it was started, like even in 1980s, it was anticipated, like eventually it is going to uh, run out and we will not have enough addresses. And then community started to like think about what could be the uh, alternative way to carry on the growth of the internet, since IPv4 will not be able to help in the long run. So if we look at the today's stats, uh, the almost 100%, we can say the 99.5% has been dedicated, and we are only left with 0.3%, not even 3%, it's 0.3%. And with the IPv4 being close to depletion, the only way forward we have is to go with for IPv6. Why we need IPv6 for internet? There are several reasons for that. One of them is like the address space exhaustion. Uh, s- since IPv4 is not enough to support for the growth of the internet, and it is considered as a hindrance to for the future of the internet. That's why we have to go for IPv6. Another strong reason is the support for IoT in case of IPv6, which we cannot do while having the IPv4. Just assume like in future there the future of IoT and the number of devices would be in billions that are going to be connected over the internet, like the EV vehicles and the other things that needs to be remain on uh, for in future. Otherwise, we cannot support them. Uh, the third point which I have is the future proofing. like when we will have in future requirements, the networks needs to support the growth and the upcoming services. Like in future, we will have the 5G and other new technologies that cannot be supported if we keep on with the IPv4, and we have to go for IPv6. In case of IPv6, we can have the direct connectivity and we can eliminate the NAT. Also, NAT is considered as one of the ways to extend the IPv4 address space, but actually it is not a solution. It can support for a medium term, but in long run, it will not be a solution for us. IPv6 has built-in security, like IPsec is supported in this, and due to this, the end-to-end connectivity and encryption could be applied, which is not possible in case of IPv4, as it has does not have this built-in support. If we look at the IPv6 end user readiness along the worldwide, it is now, as of today, it's 36.9% the capability. Let's look at the graph closely. If we look at it, we can see that the regions which are investing and growing on IPv6, like America, and we can see parts of Europe and Asia as well, which are investing on the IPv6 and in this technology as well. So let's look at the graph closely. We can see here the graph of IPv6 capability and preference from 2012 to 2013 and we can see that the initially it was from 2017 13 when it started to grow, and up till 2018 it has like growth of 17%. From 2018 to 2023 end, it has grown up to like 35.5%. And if we look at the growth overall, so it is like 3.5% growth per year. But if we totally look at the Google stats, as per the Google, it is now at around 43 to 44% user availability and support for IPv6 worldwide. And as per them, it's 4 to 5% growth per year. And if we keep on with this pace, even we can see like within few years, it will be beyond 50 and then 60% as well. Let's take a closer look at the Southeastern Asia region. Here we can see the Malaysia is leading. It has capability of almost 70%. Then Vietnam is at second, which is 60. Thailand is at 47%. Myanmar is doing good as well, and it's 44. When I was looking at these stats earlier, it was at 44% almost a few weeks ago. Now it's increased by 4% in just like 1 month. We can see the other countries there as well. We have not taken the countries which are less than 10%. We can see Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia. There, the adoption is also taking some pace, but still they are behind the other four countries. Myanmar, as I said, like it's 44%. But if we look at the graph more closely, actually the deployment started there after 2019, and during the COVID, it was like took some pace, and within like between 21 to 22. There was a decline. Maybe some of operators they have done switch off it, and we can see a steep rise after that. and it went like above 50%, even mid of 2022, and then there is some decline, and again it's above like 44%. So I think we need to keep on this momentum, and we need to have consistency with the IPv6 services. If we look at the other stats like IPv6 delegation, there has been 126, and total slash 28 there are has been 4.9 million, like, and IPv4 delegation to 37, and total 959 slash 24 prefixes, and there are like 174 ASN which has been delegated. Why an ISP need to deploy an IPv6, and why it like what is the real need for an ISP to deploy IPv6? So one of the thing is like if an ISP need to keep their customer up and need to have their future business secure, then it needs to deploy IPv6, because without deploying IPv6, it will not be able to offer new services, it will not be able to offer the IPv6 to its customer, and it can may lose some business, and maybe it will not be able to fulfill some of the customer future customer requirement as well. IPv6 help us in terms of performance improvement because of the smart header it has, and due to this smart header, when the devices are processing IPv6, they may take less time. Like they in case of IPv6, we do not have CRC like the check. It is on the other layer. So when devices will be processing the IPv6, they will have the advantage of smart header, and it can eventually, depending on like the network, it can improve your latency as well, because in some cases the latency might it is a big advantage. We also can see like the IPv6 adoption in big giants. That could be also a reason, like in CDNs, the customer retention you can have, like if you have IPv6 support, you can have operational savings as well. uh, you will have a competitive advantage if others have not deployed IPv6, and in future you will be ready for the shutdown of IPv4 as well. If we look at the deployment plan, how you can like deploy or develop your plan uh, to for IPv6, the first thing is you need to build your IPv6 squad. Like you can have people from multiple across teams, which could be grouped into one IPv6 task force, and then they can further work on the development plan. You should need to access your infrastructure network in terms of hardware, software services, and you also need to have the staff training and awareness. Once you have done this, then you can obviously you will have to go for management approval as well, and you need to get sign off and secure the funding for your project. Once you have done the plan, then you need to prepare for the deployment. At this stage, you need to identify any gaps which needs to be filled. Like could be some team which have not earlier get training, and you need to maybe have identified some areas where you need to have more knowledge. So for the success of project, it's critical that you fill all the gaps, then obtain IPv6 from relevant IRR. You need to build a test bed, and during this test bed, you need to should really test all the use cases which are going to be used in actual deployment, and you need to document the whole project, because if you are not really doing good documentation, then maybe you will lose some work that you have already done. You need to develop an addressing plan for you for your network, and you need to use an IP address management tool as well, because on spreadsheet you cannot manage IPv IPv6, you can maybe manage IPv4, but in case of IPv6, it's very difficult, and but I think it's not possible. You when you are selecting the addressing plan, select the space allocation, because then you will have gap within addressing plan to cater the future requirement for different regions, cities, or data centers. Y- you need to select a transition strategy, like which will be best suited for your network. Like, are either you are going to have like dual stack, or you are going to select any transition technology transition by having IPv6 only as a native, and then using the this transition technology support IPv4 services, or you are going to have tunneling in your case. So you really need to think about it and test it before the actual deployment. During the deployment phase, it should be a phased deployment. Like, you should not do just start in whole network. You should start from one side. Like, you can enable the IPv6 with your upstream peers and internet exchange points, and enable on gateways and core. And then during this, you also need to take care of like the control plane protections if you have already in place. If not, please try to adopt that. Like, you have to enable the IPv6 on IGP and IBGP, and like I earlier said, EBGP as well. You need to enable the IPv6 on your server platform, and during this you will have to also enable on firewall, load balancer, and beef up your policies, rules. And you just cannot think like IPv6 is like secure. It has built-in security, but you need to actually apply the policies, because the built-in security is just for IPv6, IPsec support. And you need to enable like the IPv6 on different services, DNS, mail, NMS, and enable the IPv6 for VPN services as well. When you are deploying this IPv6, you need to update your monitoring and maintenance system, and then you can enable the IPv6 on access network, and then on customer CPE. During this time, you have to get in touch with the customer, and you also should get their feedback. And in case of any failure, you should have a plan to roll back the services, so there should not be an unlimited downtime. Monitoring and maintenance is like a continuous work. You need to do that. Uh, uh, Another thing is like, you at some stage you need to switch off IPv4, so keep that plan ready as well, because maybe in future one day we will hear from like maybe from ITF, like the IPv4 is obsolete, and then people start switching off after a certain date. So once everyone around the world, it will be ready. So and world has agreed, then they will switch off IPv4. During all these stages, you need to keep your documentation, documenting all the stages, and share the later on it. You can share your success stories with any conference or NOG. Or otherwise, this documentation is going to help your future employees and employees who are going to take care of this network in the long run. What are different key consideration and challenges? So like, we need to consider address space management, uh, the hardware and the software capabilities, regulatory compliance, customer education and support, and quality of services while we are preparing for IPv6, because maybe there is regulatory compliance to go for IPv6. There are different challenges that you may come across when you are going for IPv6. Like, maybe there is a limited awareness within your team or among the team for IPv6. The hardware and software needs upgrade, the technical expertise among different cross-functional teams, and interoperability issue and infrastructure limitations. Like, there may be limited support, and maybe you need to have some additional hardware or purchase additional hardware in your infrastructure. If you are an Epinic member, then IPv6 is just a one click away. You can just go to your member portal and from there you can have a request for IPv6 allocation for you. You can receive a /32, and if you have IP4 assignment, you will receive a /48 IPv6 assignment. In case of like if you are Epinic member, you may can have a technical support. You can open a ticket with us if you are really interested for the IPv6 deployment, and you can discuss with us. Uh, we have like a remote or face-to-face technical assistance as well. Uh, you can go to deploy IPv6 on the Epnic website, and there we have a plan as well. You can 10-step plan, and you can go through this, and you can like plan, prepare, deploy the IPv6 using this technique as well. You can heard some success stories as well, and there are many helpful resources. And obviously, you can request Epnic for the training for IPv6 as well. There is another aspect where we help the networks, like providing the grants. We have Apnic Foundation and ASIF Asia. So it provides the grant for IPv6. So currently the application date for IPv6 grants, they are open till the 28th March, and you can apply if you are interested in IPv6 deployment and you need some support in terms of finances. So I would really encourage for those who enterprises or ISP who are interested in deployment. Thank you very much. That's it for my presentation. If you have any questions, please let me know.
मेरे को मेल चाहिए question please. So I have one question.
Yes, please.
For what is the easier way to deploy IPv6? Sometimes we are considering US tech. Is it you're recommending starting from US tech?
Yeah, there are like different techniques to deploy IPv6 depending on the the network enterprise or ISP. Uh, we can select a certain technique, but dual stack is mostly considered a better technique in terms like maybe if you go to the other techniques, you need some transition technology, and that would maybe require an additional investment. But again, when we are saying dual stack, that means you will have enough IPv4 addresses and enough IPv6 addresses to support your customer. But within dual stack, there is another way, like maybe for IPv4, you will be doing netting if you have not enough IPv4 addresses, but for IPv6, you can go native.
So what is the most recommended method if we deploy IPv6? Because we still have need to access to the IPv4 application. So IPv4 must be available also.
Yeah, I would recommend, like although there are other techniques, the dual stack is a better technique, because in this case you will be supporting like native IPv4 and IPv6 services, and in future when you are going to when the whole world is going to be IPv6 only, you can simply just switch up IPv4. And if you have some like other investment, like you have the CGN or the create you have done some investment by having the IPv6, you can offload your services from IPv4 to IPv6, because the moment you will enable IPv6 due to the happy eyeballs, there would be many customer and many destination which would be preferred over the IPv6, and then your IPv4 traffic would reduce.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, make the Any question?
Uh, we already have IPv4 allocation. If you want IPv6, do we get IPv6 free?
Yes, if you have IPv or if you are already a PNIC member and you are paying for IPv4, I believe the IPv6 would be free, but I have to maybe double check this.
Thank you.
If you can open a ticket with our help desk and they will better guide you on this, like how many IPv6 addresses or what would be the IPv6 allocation for you if you want to go for it, and you can also ask for like how much you need to pay, or you maybe do not have to pay anything.
မိကုံးမေးစရာရှိသေးတာမလဲမိကုံးမေးစရာမရှိရှင် So Sajid, we will go to the next session, that is a quiz session.
Okay,
Thank you.
should I stop sharing?
You stop sharing, please.
Okay, thank you.